Hello, YouTube, and welcome back to day 29 of Psychology Every Day. You'll have to excuse my voice, I'm a little bit sick, but more about that later. I wanted to tell you a story from the military. So, one of the things that they taught us was, gratitude, even in extreme situation, to the point of, delusions and gaslighting yourself. And talked about stoicism, the other day, and if it's BS, it's really not BS. It's one of the greatest things ever. But, they would force us to look at things positively even when they were bad. So, you know, um, in the military, sometimes you have to forfeit lunch or whatever. It's sort of training to, eat fast and always be ready, and sometimes, accept that you don't get to eat. So they would force us to say, things like, I wasn't that hungry anyway. And me and my best friend, Eric, we thought this was hilarious, actually. And, took it to the absurd. And, instead of, being like, I wasn't that hungry anyway. We would be like, it was shit food. I don't, I'll wait until I get a burger, right? And it actually works really well, especially if you find it hilarious and if it's really funny. And one time we were, in the end phases of the basic military training, which is 10 days of, basically hell. It's called Never Give Up in Swedish. And, it's the soldier march, and, just a brutal experience that is, a culmination of the basic training. And if I were to, attempt that today without that basic training in my in my backpack, so to speak, I would die. Just immediate death, because it's so brutal. No sleep, no food, just walking forever, and having war scenarios with 40 pounds of extra packing. And anyway, so we set up camp, right? And one of the things that sometimes happens in the military is that if you make too much noise, or especially if you shine a light, the officers, and this is secret, don't tell anyone about this, everyone knows this happens, they force you to pack up camp, pack up the tents, everything, and in the middle of the night. And this is one of the most demoralizing things that happens to you in the military, because it takes like an hour or two for your entire platoon of like 50 people to set up camp, and then you expect to get 2 to 4 hours of sleep, but then an hour after, they were like, nope, we gotta move. You made too much noise, and the enemy might have a fix on our location. So we packed it up and moved to a new location. And, I think at 4 a.m. or something, we had set up the new location, and our lieutenant lined us up, and he said that, have you learned to be quiet? Um, have you learned to be quiet and, not shine any lights now? I hope so, because otherwise we're going to move anyway. And me and Eric had, a bad habit of, cracking jokes, being slightly defiant. We got punished for that many times. And he said that, just out in the open, was a shit spot anyway, Lieutenant. And, people laughed. And I immediately said, yeah, terrible view, just awful, 0 out of 5 stars. And let me tell you, we didn't get any more, you know, sleep that night. I can tell you that much. But the method really works when you go through tough times. If something bad happens to you, it doesn't sound healthy, but it certainly takes the edge off the tension and lightens up the mood. And some people like to think about that. If you zoom out to the sun, we are completely insignificant, and I find that hard to do. But having a laugh about something certainly helps. And gratitude, even if it's delusional or crazy, I think is good medicine. So even though I'm sick, it's a beautiful day, and let me tell you, it's not as hot as it looks, hence why I'm sick. But if I had to go back to that time, then I'll have to say, I didn't want to be healthy anyway, because I don't know, it's just so mediocre and bland. Everyone walks around and they're healthy all the time, and it's just so boring. You need to be extra, and being sick is just another way to stand out a little bit and be a star of your own life, right? Anyway, I hope you have a great day. Please let me know. Thank you so much again for all the subscribers. I'm we're up to 50 now, and if we could reach 100 before, I don't know, the end of May, perhaps, I would be so happy. And let me know if you want more stories, or if you want me to talk about, uh, more psychological stuff or what's going on in my life. And please like and subscribe. It's so much fun. I get that fast dopamine hit when I see more likes and especially comments. I appreciate that so much. Have a great day, everyone, and I will see you tomorrow.